All right. It says the stream is
Hello,
live.
everyone. We are live. It is us. We are here. Hello, everyone.
Howdy.
How are we? Are we good? I think we've got a few technical bugs, but we're going to try and soldier through.
I think we're good. Hey, chat. Are you able to see everything all right? If you can, just leave a quick comment.
Just so we know it's not just us two messing it up.
Yeah, wouldn't that suck if we did this whole podcast and we were the only ones to see it? That would not. Okay, hey there. Okay, Lane just said, "Hey, there is Thomas and Mr. Ian." It says, "Did Pete break something?"
I think so. Pete's having a few problems getting on, and I've got a few connection problems my end. So between us, we pretty much managed to ruin it.
Oh man, I think I'm the only one here with a fully functioning computer here. So I guess I'll just be the eye candy.
Yeah, I don't think you're far off there.
Hopefully,
hopefully I'm not. There,
hopefully, I'm not too disgusting for you guys to look at until we get some cameras working. But I'll definitely be the face of OFAC for you. Might have to go and freshen up my makeup or something.
Yep. Yep. We love that. That's absolutely fine. Yeah. So look, I think without further ado, let's get going. Let's get started. So new this week. What have we got? What have we picked up? Because I have a new boiler. That's all I've got.
A new boiler. Oh, well, I think you are doing the same thing what I got, because I actually have to buy a new furnace, and so I had a contract over yesterday to give me some quotes, and I'm still waiting to hear back on that. So, but I'm not gonna let that cut into my figure collecting. Of course, I mean, who needs to stay warm? All I need are my figures to keep me warm. So we're gonna do that.
Because to be fair, if you burn them, they do provide quite a lot of warmth.
Yeah. And they do go up pretty quickly. So
they do. Massively.
Of course, that's barring the noxious fumes, but hey, other than that, it's all good.
Other than that, it's all fine. Exactly. It's all fine. So yeah, I must admit, I've not got anything 6 scale in ages now. I've got a few bits on pre-order, but I've not. And the last thing I thought, I'd really, really want that is probably the RoboCop.
That is a cool figure.
I just haven't managed to get one.
Yeah, I like that. I really do like the look of it. I mean, if I were a real follower of RoboCop, then I would definitely get that. But I don't have enough of a connection. I mean, look, that was definitely in my wheelhouse. I was a teenager when RoboCop was originally coming out, so I'm no spring chicken, but yeah, I mean, it's still a great figure. Now for me, I haven't gotten anything really new. I'm still waiting for some things. I have some items that are supposed to be coming in from the place who shall not be named, that starts with a T. Okay, I'm still waiting on them to ship out some things. As a matter of fact, I'm going to make a list of everything that should be on its way that has not been, and ask Justin if he can help me reach out to them and get them to. Hey, Pete, you're back! Yay! So we're gonna take care of that. But yeah, other than that, so now we have 2 beautiful faces here for you guys to see, and I'll just be Miss USA, and Pete can be Miss Great Britain. We can't hear you, Pete.
Yeah, no sound there, mate.
Still no.
Still nothing. This is like a flashback to the pandemic. Go, no, you're on mute, mate. You're on mute.
Jesus.
Yeah. There we go.
Yes.
Here he is.
What?
Say his name and he will appear.
Who?
Jesus. or as we like to call him, Pete.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He
There's
literally
nothing...
came in just.
Yeah.
He came in
no...
just going, Jesus.
I'm in the settings and there's no dots. There's no dots. So, but if you can hear me, that's cool.
We can.
Nice one. Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, just technical glitches as ever. If it's not one of us, it's the other. So yeah. No. Nice to see you all again. And a special hello. You might have said it already. Special hello to Rainer, who is listening to us from his hotel room in London.
That's right. You guys are going to see him this week.
Yeah, hopefully tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, that should be fun.
He's been very unlucky with the weather. It's like absolutely in the middle of a storm, but it's meant to clear by tomorrow. So it should be better.
Yeah. It was meant to come. It was meant to come like summertime, and then he had to put it back. So he put it back to November, and I was like, "Mate, you've not experienced wet weather until you've done November in London." that is going to be wet.
Absolutely. So hopefully we should be there tomorrow for meeting up for a meal. So that'd be really good. Be good to see him.
Yeah, definitely. So
I don't have anything new either. So just to chime in there, nothing new. So yeah, let's go ahead.
For me and Thomas, it's all been about heating.
Yeah, I understand that. It's cool.
Boilers and furnaces.
Yeah, I've only got my love to keep me warm. So
I love the difference. So that it's boiler and then it's furnace. He's got like a Freddy Krueger style or Home Alone, one of those big furnaces in the basement.
Mine is loosely figure related because at the same time I got him to put a radiator in the what my missus calls the dolly room
to sort out the damp.
And because it's the first time we've recorded since it's on, I'm like, right, I'll go on the app and I'll turn it on the app and I'll sit here with it on under the desk, warming my feet up, and it makes such a fucking difference. It's ridiculous.
Has it broken your camera?
So yeah. No, I think that's my internet connection doesn't like me to have the camera on.
Right, fair
as soon as I put it on, and as soon as when you were trying to join on, my internet was just going, no, stop that.
Yeah,
stop it.
Ian didn't want to compete with my beauty, so
yeah, and it helped, and the fact I'm fully nude as well doesn't help.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so hot in there now.
Yeah,
we have to peel everything off.
Exactly, it's like that song. But yeah. But listen, while we're talking about bald, sexy men, there's a very pale, bald, sexy man here. The Grand Inquisitor. I can't tell you how much I want this fucking figure, but I have no money whatsoever because I've just spent out on a fucking boiler. So it will have to go in the pile of things that is very nice to admire from afar.
Now, is this a new release?
Absolutely loving it.
Yeah, it came out today or yesterday, I think.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean, this is shrink ray to me. If you had movie still, TV show still, and then this next to it, I would be hard to pick the difference between the two, particularly on that middle picture.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does look like a promo shot, doesn't it, for the TV show? Yeah, it looks really good. I don't have any love for this character. I know that obviously you know him from kind of Rebels and stuff, so you've got more of a. But objectively, looks like a good figure. It's a nice head sculpt, nice paint job, nice outfit. Does the chest light up?
I'm not sure.
Photoshop, because obviously the saber's photoshopped, but
yeah, I'd imagine it's Photoshop.
Yeah,
it's hard to tell on the very first picture, but the middle picture looks like it's just maybe some shiny paint. So it might be that maybe the lighting kind of made it look like it was lit up on that first one. But it would be cool if it did light up.
Yeah,
I mean, does he light up on this show?
Later, Andre saying, yeah.
Oh wow,
yeah, the chest lights up. So yeah,
it just be
that'll be a
pain in the
feature.
arse to switch it on and off on it.
that I
would be
never
very
use.
cool.
Yeah.
Like,
Remove chest plate. Insert batteries. Switch on.
Yeah. Insert 20 batteries that will time out after 5 seconds. You got to do it over again.
And the batteries are like so microscopic. I mean, don't drop one.
Ping off across the carpet.
I tell you, the most frustrating Hot Toys battery was, I think it was the Mark III Iron Man and the 42 that had the magnets to hold the top of because the way it worked was you had almost like a piece that wrapped around the back of the head that was held on with a magnet. And then the magnet was right next to where you put the 3 batteries
grab
in.
the batteries in it.
Yeah. So every time you would put it in, it just went, whoop. But
Sucked them up.
It would flip them round. She'd be sitting there going, this really isn't worth the fucking effort. Like, really isn't worth it.
I never found that. They must have figured that out and changed that for later releases. Yeah. But I mean, they are the tiniest things, and you've got to push 3 of them in. Like, they're really tight, aren't they? And this is just if that spring goes, bing.
Yeah, you're fucked. They just go flying up. You just think, how much do I want this fucking light up feature? Yeah. Like, really? No. Like, how much do I want it?
No,
not this fucking much.
Up until the advent of these USB sabers that are coming, which we haven't actually seen in the flesh to see if they're any good. The light up functions on Hot Toys have just been a complete arse. So they're just not convenient to use at all. Notwithstanding the fact that the batteries will die very quickly.
I'll be completely honest with you. I can never be asked with any light out features. No. I can't be asked if it's USB. I can't be asked if it's... Here he is.
Sorry.
That took me back to the days when you play like Call of Duty or something online, and all you could hear through someone's headset was like their radio playing where they're playing music. But yeah, I've never been interested in light out features in the slightest because of the amount of fucking wires needed. Even if you do it really, really well.
Oh my god, look at that! That Lane just sent me that. I don't know if you can see it on there. That's a lot of gear for like one light on a chest.
That is so much. Yeah, I mean, it's just
it doesn't need that at all. Jesus.
Fuck's sake. You've got. Do you know when people talk about risk and reward, or the effort involved in something and the payoff? You kind of go, really.
Was it really worth it?
That?
Yeah.
No, in Hot Toys as well. Like, it won't even be like USB-C. It'll be fucking one of the great chunky.
Yeah.
That you have to put it in. Every time you put it in, you get it the wrong way fucking round and have to flick it around.
yeah, absolutely.
That'd be Hot Toys.
Now, if Hot Toys were going to do something that would impress me, what they would do is that, because they have those USB-Cs that you can stick in their backs, but you have to plug that in to an extra thing. What would really be great is that they put one in where you could charge it, and then that way just flip on a switch and you can then use it. That will be what I would be looking for, because it is for not years. I've only had it for like a year, but I got that Spider-Man, the Miles Morales with the light up face and the leather jacket and things like that. I can't remember what he was called. But that one had a USB-C jack in the back. So I said, I suppose you plug it in. And then I plugged it into my USB port to charge it. And so then I unplug it after about maybe 5 hours. I unplug it and tried to turn it on and said, hey, this thing isn't working. Not realizing that you had to plug it in and leave it plugged in. Then the plug was only but so long. It's not like it's a really long cord. So I mean, that's the reason why I thought it was just for charging, because it wasn't long enough to actually reach an adequate power source. So I've been really annoyed with Hot Toys. They have not been.
Yeah,
they
have
have
and
not been very
hopefully,
good.
I mean, I don't know how they'll work, but obviously, you'd hope that if you flick the switch on wherever the switch is on the figure, and then you just power the USB on and off, that it will. Because I know with some of the with the sideshow, like the C-3PO, I had him powered up, but you still had to touch the back of his head to switch the eyes on and off. So
Yeah.
you know, it's okay if you can leave the switch on and then you can use, you know, whatever smart plugs or whatever to do that. But if you then still got to like physically switch the switch, it becomes a right pain in the arse.
What was it? It was one of the Hot Toys Vaders, weren't it? That did something. Like
Oh
you
God,
turn it
yeah.
on, and it
Yeah,
would time out after like 5 minutes.
Yeah, and then you had to take it all apart again.
Yeah, you had to strip it down.
Again. Yeah,
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
that was ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because if I have something that has to stay plugged in and it's in my cabinet, I shouldn't have to open up my cabinet and tap its head. I mean, hopefully when you switch on the lights, everything should turn on.
It should do, yeah. If this has got a hard switch, it should be okay, but it'd be interesting to see how that works. But yeah, no, it does look good.
Yeah, it's about 250, 300, depending on where you get it from as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a very, very interesting head sculpt. I mean, I've never seen him before, but I like the way he looks. Very cool.
So I think
It's a cool character.
There might have been some other new releases, but that's the only one that kind of.
If I'm honest, I didn't. I was looking and I couldn't see a great deal.
No.
If I'm honest,
Certainly nothing worth. I mean, I had a few. I had the Present Toys West Cowboy a few weeks ago. That's really good, actually. I'm happy with that. Been doing some work. We've got a Present Toys later, so I can talk about it then. But there's been stuff, but I just think in the last maybe week and a half, there's not been a lot. It's just been a bit of a dead area. Where in a few months where we've had like literally, 5 a day kind of thing dropping. So, yeah. But we've got a few coming soon. So,
Andre, we mentioned in the chat that Blitzway Kurt Cobain released.
Yes. Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, I haven't seen any in-hand photos. I saw that people were saying, "Oh, we've got a couple left in stock and things like that." But yeah, so yeah. There you go. Rainer's in the chat.
Yeah. Here he is. So look, coming soon, we've got John Wick coming in at 250 quid. Out Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. That's right. We are finally hitting that 2025 mark.
Yeah.
I like this, crazy. But I can't really see a lot of difference between the last John Wick.
That's crazy, man. I'll be 50
because
in 2025.
Really?
Woo!
2025, I'll be 60.
Whoa, nice. Have a joint party, Thomas.
That's right.
Yeah. What month's your birthday?
February.
Oh, okay. You'll hit that first. I'm April. So.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, John Wick.
I'll only be 38.
38.
Oh, what a baby.
Like a baby.
Youngster.
Yeah. Whippersnapper.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest John Wick fan. I've said that quite a bit. So, if either of you are, feel free to take it away. I think it looks okay, but it doesn't set my world alight.
I do enjoy John Wick. I'm kind of a fan. I really I have like a third party John Wick, but I like this. I like what they did with this head sculpt, especially with the extra hair that you can get where it kind of looks like it's moving.
Yeah,
that's actually kind of a nice feature. So I think I might give that some consideration, because especially if it's going to be out 2025, I can just put it on the payment plan and just wait until then. But yeah, that's actually quite nice. I don't see any major problems with the head sculpt or anything like that. I mean, when I look at it, I know I'm looking at Keanu Reeves, and it's and the paint job looks very, very nice. So. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking I might lean into this one. What about you, Ian?
Yeah, like I said, I don't have a massive amount of love for the John Wick films. Don't get me wrong, I won't turn them off in disgust when they're on, but they're fine. They do everything they say on the tin.
Yeah.
But I don't really need a John Wick figure, and at this point. His look doesn't change at all between any of the films. Like he's always in a suit. So if I had the last one, I'd be going, okay, Although, like you said, it's out fucking ages away. I'd be going, okay, how much more money do I spend to get that one, and is it any better? And then, like, even and the amount of third-party John Wicks we've seen as well, you kind of just you go, okay. I mean, if you're big into John Wick, then you're going to get everyone going. But I mean, I like it. Like I say, I like what they've done with the hair. I think the hair, that's quite a good idea. But then again, it's 250 quid, so fucking yes, we should get something like that. But yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, and he's got some nunchucks. He's got a sword. He's got a bow. He's got some
shit tons of hands. Like, a lot of hands.
Yeah. Yeah, unusually for Hot Toys, but then I guess that's to hold all the different weapons, so that's cool.
Yeah. And in this last movie, they did use a lot more different types of weapons, which was really cool. Right. So I'm kind of
I've got John Wick 4 on the hard drive to watch. I just haven't got around to it yet, but I'll give it a go. And then we have this guy, Kane.
Kane,
I haven't watched the movie, so this guy's blind. I understand.
Yes.
And he fights John Wick, I assume.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's like one of those major assassins that they call in. They're like, okay, who do we need to call to kill John Wick? Yeah. And they say, hey, we better call in Kane because this guy's the only one that's equipped. But he was pretty impressive to me also, and I really dug his role in there, and the fight scenes are really cool. So yeah, I mean,
so would you pick this up as well to go with? You
I would not say no.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I'm completely sold to do it because, I mean, there really are no other John Wick figures other than John Wick. And so it would be kind of cool if he had his rogues galleries of different people he's fought in the previous 3 movies. Mm-hmm. That would be maybe a little different, but I'm not sure by itself. Then again, I am the one who bought the Shang-Chi and the Wen-Wu and the Wen-Wu in the suit. So I'm sitting here like, that's me calling myself a hypocrite. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely is something I would consider because it's a very nice looking figure. Mm-hmm. I think from what I remember, I'd have to go back and look at the film again. But I know that I'm looking at the actor who played him.
Yeah.
But whether or not it's a true, perfect, or great likeness, I can't really attest to that. But it's a good-looking sculpt and a good painted sculpt, no matter what. So, but it's very nice. So it's something I would definitely consider, but I haven't really made a definitive yay or nay on it.
Yeah, Badfish saying doesn't like the collar. I know you guys were talking about that on Collecting Weekly on Tuesday. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's quite on the Wick. Yeah, I mean it's on the large side, but I think as people have said, if you've got the waistcoat and the jacket on, it doesn't look as bad. And it's not bad by any means. I've seen a lot worse.
Right.
It might just be a little oversized. It's got that sort of 70s look about it, which
well, and if you notice also, he kind of has a little bit of a longer neck, and if I think since they're doing layers, like like in the picture on the other side that has them fully suited, his neck no longer looks long anymore because he has all these other layers.
Oh, of course,
and everything lays down properly. Yeah. So that probably is the reason why was that they probably needed to do it so they could make sure that the collar would stay down underneath the other layers of clothes and still make him look normal when he's wearing them. But it doesn't bother me. I don't have a problem with long necks.
Well, no, and if I had it, I'd have him fully suited anyway. I don't think I'd display him without the jacket and stuff, so it wouldn't be an issue for me. And I don't think it looks so bad. So I've seen a lot worse.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Now, have you noticed that? I can't. I'm not going to put a gross generalization on here about Keanu, but it seems like every movie I've seen him in since he hit 40, he's always wearing a black suit.
Yeah,
and he always has his shaggy hair, and he always has a beard. So I'm sitting here like, and actually, no, I could probably say since the Matrix. Now I might be wrong. If I'm wrong, chat correct me. But it's like the one thing, probably the reason why they can pay him so well is they don't have to buy costumes. All they gotta do is give him a black suit. They're good to go.
Yeah.
Action.
That is pretty much all he ever wears.
But yeah, I dig it. But yeah, this is a nice Kane. I kind of, the more I look at him, I'm sitting here thinking,
what's the price on him, Ian? What you got for Kane?
Kane is £208. He's out about the same time, but
okay.
Yeah, I mean,
he's about 40 quid cheaper.
Yeah, he's a bit bare bones. So,
but that's because I didn't give him Purrs.
Yeah.
But he does come with a whole lot of hands too.
Yeah, he does.
I like that. I love all these extra hands that we're getting.
Yeah. No, I think again, objectively, they look good. I think Hot Toys are putting some good stuff out at the moment.
They definitely put out worse. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think
this one though,
we went through a bit of a downturn with them. I think earlier in the year, but they've seemed to have got their act back.
Turned it around a bit.
Yeah.
This, on the other hand, fucking amazing. Grand Admiral Thrawn. He will set you back only £190. Obviously, you got to pay postage on top of that. But it's out Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. So another one that's punching that 25 mark.
Yeah.
Because let's not pretend for a second that it'll be released on time. But I'm loving this. I think this is great. It's a bit bare bones, but I don't know what else you would give him, if I'm honest, because he didn't really.
He's not done a lot yet, has he?
No. He minced about a bit and spoke to some witches, and that was about it, really. So I'd say this is about right.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it. I think the likeness is not 100%. It's like that. Always that thing, isn't it? You put it next to the actor. Okay, it's not, but it's a bloody good effort, and I absolutely know who it is and who it is portraying that character. So I'd be more than happy. It's not one I'm going to pick up, but I do like it. Obviously the white suit is very iconic. It's very similar to the Krennic one that a lot of people were after for a long time. I would have a little concern over people have said on other shows that they've not heard of the paintwork rubbing off on the suit. It's normally the other way around, but just in general, anything that's completely white, you do have to be a bit careful with it. Make sure you've not got anything on your fingers or a bit of what's it grease or something like that. You're going to ruin that thing. But it does look cool. Yeah.
Just for everyone in America, though, where Pete said "what's it grease," over here that's crisps. He doesn't
Cheetos.
mean
Cheetos.
Okay.
Yeah, he doesn't mean
puffs.
Yeah, when he says "what's it grease," he doesn't mean he's greasy old cock.
It wasn't a euphemism.
Yeah, it wasn't a clever British euphemism. Though it was crisps.
So are they actually crisp? So kind of like your fish and chips. They're like the chips, or
they are.
Or are these a different type of crisp?
They're like Cheetos. They're like a maize puff kind of thing, covered in orange dust, cheesy orange dust.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
So listen,
as soon as you said orange, I hear you.
Rainer, pop out to the shop and get some Whatsits. You'll love them.
So back when we first started this, I think I said like something had come out, and I was like, I'll be all over that like a tramp on a bag of chips. Then a couple of days later, I think this was back when Jesse was part of the gang, and they did this meme in the chat, and that was only then did I realise that they had no idea what the fuck I was on about.
Yeah,
because it was effectively a prostitute holding a bag of like Doritos, and I was like, that's not it. When I say tramp, I mean homeless person.
Yeah.
When I say bag,
all right, now I get it, because I was afraid to ask, and I was sitting here like, now why would a prostitute jump on a pair? I said, well, maybe after she was done with her John, she got really, really hungry and said, "Let me
got
get
the
some."
munchies,
Okay,
yeah.
so okay,
Yeah.
that makes more
the
sense now.
Yeah, and the chips was literally like fish and chips, like a
Yeah.
bag of fish and chips.
Okay,
And it was only when I explained it to them they were like, "Oh yeah, no, yeah, we completely got the
It's
wrong
just
end of
great
the
that both of those words mean something, pretty
completely
different.
different."
right.
Yeah, it did make me laugh.
And obviously,
But
the
yeah.
recent one that Thomas loves is the dog's bollocks.
I
The
love
dog's
that
nuts,
one.
mate.
That is
The
my
dog's
favorite.
bollocks. The Mutt's nuts, mate.
Yeah.
That's
That was our
That's
first
it.
sticker, wasn't it? The Mutt's Nuts
it was. In fact, it's on the back of my iPad, and I
Yeah.
forget sometimes.
That's back in the
The
archives.
Mutt's nuts. That's actually even better.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
in a lot of ways, that's like the Americanized version of it, the Mutt's Nuts, because
Mm-hmm.
that would make sense. Whereas the bollocks is just like a pretty unknown word, I think, in the States, unless you
Yeah.
listen to shows like this. And,
Yeah. See, I watch some British programs and stuff like that on like BBC and stuff like that. So I've heard bollocks before, and there's a few words that when I hear them, I'm like, okay, I think that means such and such.
Fucking love it.
Absolutely. So, what do you think about this figure? I know you're not a big Star Wars fan, Thomas.
You know, it's a very, very nice figure, and I watched Ahsoka, so I know who this character is,
Yeah.
and it's it's not something I would probably pick up, but it's definitely a fine figure they made there. I'm very
I know
pleased with it.
I know your fetish for blue and green skinned
I
aliens.
love blue, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks great, and they did great with his sculpting.
Yeah.
Now, some people have said he looks like Elon Musk, and I have to admit, the picture to the right
Yeah.
does look like
Yeah.
a slimmed down version of Elon Musk a
he's
little bit.
slimmer, yeah.
But as long as this figure doesn't come with a Tesla, I'm good with it. But yeah, I doubt that I'm going to get it, but I can definitely admire it. And if I went to somebody's house,
Yeah, it's going to
and
look
saw
stunning.
this in their and saw this in their cabinet,
Yeah.
I would definitely want to go and look at it.
Yeah, it's really going to pop, I think, with the blue and the white.
Yes,
Under some decent lighting.
absolutely.
Yeah, so, yeah. Nice. Good figure.
Yeah, you're never going to walk in and not know who it is. Like,
Absolutely.
it's one of them. What else we got? This one's I'm liking this. So this is the Hot Toys Prey Predator. This will set you back 315 quid, which I don't think is an unreasonable price for a
It's
Predator.
a big boy, isn't he?
He is a big boy. He's a very
Yeah.
big boy. And that will be out Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. I'm starting to detect a pattern here.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, we're in that.
But
we're
yeah,
in that
this
slot.
is good. Someone who talks very monotone and is now doing a lot of customer service work was saying that they'd photoshopped the knees on this and then showed a picture of the
Right.
one of the ones at the convention, which had these great big giant fucking joints on the knees. But
Okay.
I can't see. They might have just fixed it. I don't know, but yeah, to me, I couldn't give a shit if they photoshopped the knees. I still think it looks good anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
And this one has
been
so
okay
much.
on
This one has so much going on, like with the sculpting with the skin. Probably when you pose it, it won't be as noticeable. Now I didn't know they had mentioned that with the rib cage crunch, that
Yeah.
there's much more of a noticeable line between that. But even then, I mean, while I definitely appreciate as realistic a figure as they can produce. At the end of the day, I know this is just a doll. It's a figure. So if they're able to give me a great figure, but I have to look at maybe a seam or a joint here or there, I can deal with that. I mean it's a wonderful looking figure. I'm not big into the Predator franchise, so I would probably not pick this one up. But I think he looks really amazing.
yeah, I think with that same as well, because there's a lot of sculpting, there's a lot of colours, it kind of blends. It's not like if it was just plain one colour, you would notice it more. Whereas I think you can get away with it because of the patterning and the colours and stuff. I don't think that's an issue. I really enjoyed Prey. I thought it was great. It's one of those things that sort of came out of nowhere and was like, yeah, that's bloody brilliant. I wasn't a massive fan of this design. I'm very much, it's classic Predator for me. But again, so I wouldn't add it to my collection, but it does look fantastic. The detailing stuff comes with quite a lot of bits and pieces, some weapons, and his shield, and obviously you get the mandibles, swap out mandibles. You can have it with the helmet. Kind of, I don't know if it is like a skull or just made to look like one. Like a metal kind of thing. But it's cool, and it's nice to see Hot Toys revisiting the Predator line. It's a bit odd that it's got to be a good 2 years, hasn't it, since Prey came out, because it was in lockdown.
Yeah, it was.
Cool.
Yeah.
So it's a bit odd that it's taken this long, and it would be nice to see I can never remember her name, and then somebody will put it in the chat. But the young lady that fights him, that would be a cool figure. And it's like we always talk about. It's always nice to have a companion piece. Yeah. And even though that Kane figure might not be the most exciting, at least they're not just giving you John Wick. Mm-hmm. If you want a companion piece, there is one there, and it'd be nice to have somebody else to go with this figure, and it not just stand. If you've got a Predator collection, fine, it goes in there nicely with the other Predators. Yeah. Other than that, it's one of those ones where you think, I like it, but it doesn't have anything to go with. So
Well, with the original Predator, did they do a Schwarzenegger to go with it?
Yeah, they did. They did quite a lot. They did Dutch. They did.
They did the whole team.
Most of them. They didn't do Blaine.
Oh no, you're right. They didn't
do Blaine. They did. I can't remember their names. They did the Indian guy. They did. Actually, that's the only ones they did. People did a lot of customs of the other ones. But they actually only, I think, did Billy.
Yeah, I think
that's the only other official one. Yeah. Yeah, so it was Dutch, Billy, and the classic Predator. Yeah. But the Dutch is a cool figure.
So in that case, it would have made sense for them to do the girl who basically fought him then.
Yeah.
And some people have mentioned, and this probably would sell, is if they made it a double pack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
People would have definitely bought it.
Yeah, I think that would make more sense. But yeah, it's a shame if it's just a one and done on that.
100%.
Yeah, but doesn't mean it's a good thing. And it's
just the big
size.
Boy.
Yeah, this makes the last one look like a little midget.
For real,
this is fucking mental. So this is Venom. This will set you back £385. It's from the new Spider-Man 2 game.
Yeah.
It is out Q3, Q4 2024, so this year. Next year even, because I have no idea what fucking year we're in, apparently. But I really like this. Really like this. I think this is probably, for me, the definitive Venom figure. You want a Venom, this is it. And people are going on about the size. But looking at the trailers for the game, now I haven't played the game, but looking at the trailer, he's a big boy.
Oh, it's accurate to the game, no doubt.
Yeah, 100%. But this is bigger than Thanos. You're looking at quarter scale.
It's just short of the Hulkbuster.
Yeah.
It's half a meter basically. It's huge.
Yeah. Last night on the I keep wanting to say overnight.
Dark.
Yeah, thank you. Overnight. I don't know why I said overnight. After dark, yeah.
They should rename it to overnight.
So on After Dark, Lane asked me to measure this big guy back here.
Oh, the Kingpin.
The Kingpin. And I when I measured him, he only came up to like about 21 and a half inches. So they said, okay, he's bigger than him, but only by a few inches, or I guess in centimeters it will be maybe 2.5, 3 times what we would do in inches. But the I'm kind of like
2.54.
Yeah. So I'm kind of like I really like this. I like it. I have it on pre-order. I love the Spider-Man emblem, and even though he is a little oversized for what I would consider Venom, the one thing that I do like is that because he's so big and has those big hands, I can actually have him grabbing one of the Spider-Man by the neck and holding him up in the air by his neck, which would make a great
I saw
shot.
a great picture of him with Miles in one hand, and that is an epic display. Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's this one is definitely something I'm excited about. I mean, I'm as excited about this as I am about the black suit. Rainer.
Yeah.
So the black
yeah, Black Suit Spider-Man. I'm as excited about just like a Venom. I love them. I mean, they're doing. I think they're doing me right with the Spider-Verse over at Hot Toys. So I have to thank them for that. Have to thank them for that.
big time.
Yeah,
I always say Spider-Man's the thing that would drag me back into Marvel.
Yeah, and it's
Every time.
I've got my Spidey and my Sosa Toys Green Goblin, and I always every time a Spidey and because I see that as like the classic Spider-Man is not, it's to me it's just Spider-Man. It's my perfect representation of Spider-Man to me. So because it's not specific, like it's the game, but I mean it doesn't bother me. I feel like I can put anyone with him. So every time a villain comes up, I'm kind of like, ooh. This one I probably wouldn't because he's a bit big, and I'm not a massive. I know they can't really do it any other way, but I'm not a massive. I don't mind him from sort of like the waist up. I think that all looks really good. I find the legs a little bit, with the joints into the hips and stuff. They look a little bit Marvel Legendy, but I don't think there's any other way you can do it without having a bodysuit all over it, and then obviously that has its own issues. So now the one I keep looking at, although the head sculpt took a real bashing, is the Doc Ock, because that would look really great in that display, and it wouldn't matter that was a movie version and stuff because I could just.
To be fair, if you're going for kind of a generalized version, you could just get a completely different head sculpt knocked
absolutely.
up. Didn't even have to be the actor.
No, it could be anybody, couldn't it? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's just representing that character, and then really you're buying him for the arms and the suit and stuff. So
the only thing that I always makes me laugh when people do that though is when they go, so they don't go and get a head sculpt, designed and printed. They just take another head sculpt off another figure, and sometimes it's like a really well-known, noticeable, and you kind of go, I know exactly who that is, and it just doesn't work.
It's really glaring. The best thing you can do is just go on eBay and type in DID. The World War II figures, and there's hundreds of really good head sculpts of people that sometimes they do them to look like famous people and actors, but a lot of the time they're just generic, and you could just grab one and say, right, that's going to be my Doc Ock. Yeah, and that absolutely would work. Yeah, it's a good idea. I've done that for a lot of my sort of Imperial officers and stuff that I've got in my display. It's all DID heads, and they're really good, and you can get them for like £25.
Some of their stuff's really good.
Yeah.
Cool. So next up we have the Vampire Hunter.
We do. Yep.
We know who this one is.
Uh-huh.
So let's be honest, it's Blade, £175 at Q3 2024.
Yeah.
I am actually quite tempted by this because Blade to me is the one that really kicked off the new interest in Marvel. Because that was the first proper modern Marvel film. Now I'm not MCU, but that I think the MCU owes a lot to Blade because if that hadn't been as popular, I don't think we would have got half the stuff we ended up with. Just that first scene with the slaughterhouse and
that's fantastic.
And that movie was well done. I mean, they did a good job with that one.
Oh, it's fantastic.
I mean, because I kind of feel the same way with the X-Men. I feel like X-Men really did a great job of continuing to usher things forward, even though I did not like most of those X-Men movies, and I didn't like them because I'm not a big fan of Bryan Singer as a director. So I feel like he didn't really understand the property, and when he, like, the way he interpreted the characters, like, all right, when they were first promoting the movie, they did a Fox Network did a 1 hour thing, kind of like promoting the upcoming movie and telling about it. And I remember at the end of the movie, and I was like, look, I said, I love Halle Berry. Halle Berry is not Storm. I said, that was bad casting. And there were other things that kind of moved me along. I said, there's no way you could make me think that Halle Berry was an African born woman. I mean, was born of African parents. I'm sorry, just I can't suspend my belief from that much. But at the end of that TV show, the thing that told me he did not understand the IP was, he said, yeah, and what's great about this movie is that there are X's everywhere. And I said, okay, you don't understand what X-Men are. Your thing is like, yeah, I can just put an X on it and that would be cool because you'll know it's an X-Man. I'm like, no, man. I said, these are people, these are mutants born of extra things from normal human beings. That's what makes them X-Men, not the fact that they're wearing an X on their costume. There's an X on the wall. There's an X on the roof. There's an X on my car. I mean, come on, man. Yeah. So I lost respect for him. However, Blade and the X-Men, Blade. I mean, that first movie, you were right. That nightclub scene, and then when all the blood starts, man, that was intense. And I mean, to this day, that movie to me still holds up.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's really embedded in my psyche in the fact that it's the first ever DVD I watched.
Really?
And now that seems like a really long time ago, and we've had Blu-ray, we've had 4K, and stuff's moved on so much. But that was such a massive change from VHS. That was tape, that it was, could get eaten up and would degrade. And my mate said, "Oh, I've got a DVD player," and we put Blade in, and I was like, fucking hell! And I must have watched that film like 5-6 times over the following months, as there were less DVD, as DVDs started to come out.
If you think about that time, so you had a jump from VHS to to DVD.
Yeah.
You then had like PS1 to PS2 graphics. You had every jump at that point seemed absolutely fucking massive.
Yeah.
And I don't think we've had a big jump like that.
No. They get smaller,
incrementally smaller.
But that was huge because it was going from like analog to digital.
Yeah.
And it was like, you can watch this 400 times and it will never wear out and stuff like that. And so for me, that's like the memory and I just and the movie was great. It helps that it was a great movie as well because there was some shit that came out early doors in DVD, and you were just buying them because it's a DVD. I mean, I used to get because we were quite a bit behind here in the UK compared to the US, Thomas. So I used to, and this is way back in the day. We're talking late 90s, 98, I think. Which is about when this came out, isn't it? 98, I think. I was getting boxes of stuff, like boxes of DVDs from Amazon US, and there was no customs and all this stuff, just this big box and everything. And but Blade's fantastic. And I'm not sure which one is this. This is from the second movie.
I think it might be the third. I'm not sure.
Yeah, second or third, because it's a slightly different outfit. And he's got the short jacket. Because there was a Present Toys one that we talked about a long time ago that's from the first movie. So it's good that it's a different take on it as well, I think. So you could have both. I don't know what the status of the Present Toys one is, where we are on their list. But yeah, it's cool.
It's that second head sculpt with the glasses on.
Yeah.
That's the clincher for me.
With the fangs.
Yeah.
Looks great.
And I love the tattooing on the neck. That's really
that
good.
looks spot on. Thing is, back in the day, like the Blade figure was one of those. The Hot Toys Blade figure was one of those figures everyone wanted.
The Grail, wasn't it?
And then and then you had that knockoff one that did the rounds for years. And it's funny because you kind of look at stuff go full circle now, and some of the stuff that used to be around constantly is all coming back.
Yeah.
But I always just remember those. Kind of remember who made it, but those knockoff Blade ones. They were everywhere. Every fucker had one.
Yeah.
They were a clip figure. Every cunt had one.
Yeah.
And look at all the great accessories that come with it.
I know. Weapons are cool. He's got like the holy water or the little vials of stuff on his leg there. That looks cool. And if you shine a UV light on him, apparently it looks like he bought his teeth in Turkey. So that's a nice. That's a nice feature.
Yeah. That shit is white. Yeah.
But yeah, looks good. Looks good. Like it.
Yeah. Macready, Mondo Macready. Now this is fucking interesting. Yeah. This will be £195, and this is out July 2024. You are getting a shit ton of stuff with this. Yeah. But I think people need to bear in mind it is Mondo.
Yeah.
So it won't be the best quality ever compared to the stuff we're used to. However, it is still pretty good. I'm quite liking it.
I was tempted when I first saw it. I was like, I really want that. And Steve's pre-ordered it. Steve from the show. But then as I kind of looked at it a bit more, you start thinking, Mondo. They do the He-Man stuff. They're good with plastic. I've just picked up the Mondo Creature from the Black Lagoon, and it's brilliant, but it's a hunk of plastic. So they're a bit of an unknown in terms of the material clothing, and obviously the jacket is not leather; it's pleather, and that could be an issue. I mean, I can see there's going to be runs of custom leather jackets, no doubt. Yeah. But the problem is with the price of those that people are charging now, you'd be looking at probably twice the price of the figure. So do you want to spend another £400 on a £500 on a real leather jacket?
If I'm honest, like this is one of those figures. Like I think Punisher XS has just said about people saying the paint apps are like a NECA figure. But I look at something like this and I go, actually, if I can get it for around £200, this is quite a good project figure. Yeah. Because I would be repainting everything. I'd be probably ditching the body because I don't think the body's all that great.
No, and it's a bit tall apparently. It's like Ghostbusters Blitzway height. It's very big.
Yeah.
So it would stand out.
I'd be using it as a base for. I'd be modding it. I'd be modding the shit out of it. At £200.
Yeah, and
but
the head sculpts aren't bad actually. They're not.
No.
They're not Hot Toys quality, and again, that's the Mondo thing. But I think they're decent. And a lot of people have done really expensive customs, and it's difficult to put together and expensive to put together, particularly like with the flamethrower and stuff like that. So that's cool. And as I understand it, the dog and the head are like a pre-order exclusive.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
really?
You've got till the middle of this month, I think, to pre-order it. And I don't know if that's just with Mondo directly or with their resellers, but I think you need to jump on it if you want those. And to me, they're an integral part of the set. I wouldn't want to buy it without them. So
to be fair, I've seen decent prints of both of those.
Yeah.
So if you did miss out,
True,
but then you're having to pay someone to print it.
And you've got to paint them and stuff. So so I'm not sure. I like the idea of like using it as a base and changing some bits. And I haven't necessarily had any real issues with pleather myself.
I haven't.
In the environment we live in here.
Only fucking ancient figures, like 10-year-old.
Yeah, I just don't want it looking too like Action Man-y.
Right.
I can put.
You want it to be a little more realistic.
Yeah, it looks okay here, but will it turn out like that? And and then I don't want to have to be in the situation where I've got to pay out for a custom one.
I don't think you've got much to worry about there, mate.
Yeah.
If I'm honest.
Yeah.
And
really to be honest, again, to chuck them in again, if it's that bad, you could probably find a DID figure that's got a nicer jacket and pick one of those up. It's not going to be leather again, but it might look more realistic.
And there are lots of now haven't seen a lot in brown, but they do have bomber jackets and things out there that are pretty good quality.
Yeah.
So yeah, you could definitely get something that could fill the need.
I mean, it's a banging film. I absolutely love the movie. I've loved it more as I've got older and rewatched it. I watched it a couple of years back, and it's a very cool movie, and it's always a figure that I fancied having. So I might have to take the plunge and just think that it might need a little bit of work, to bring it up to scratch. But
sometimes it's worth it to a lot of times you can. All right, for example, I just bought 2 extremely cheap. I think they were like just completely knockoff Wolverine suits. I think that they were supposed to be knockoffs at the Hot Toys, because there's one in the brown suit and one in the
Crazy Toys or something. Like that.
Exactly. Yeah. Crazy Toys. And I got it because I said, well, I had 2 seamless figures that were short. They were the short muscular versions that are done by TB League.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, I wonder what would happen. Maybe if I get myself a cheap outfit where I don't have to make one from scratch, I could just, and I put them on them and they fit perfectly.
Yeah.
And not only that, they actually fill it out much better than the original figure they were on. And so
the bodies are awful on those.
Yes.
But...
So what I did is I told myself, I actually contacted a friend who does, and I'm still debating, but I asked him, I said, listen, if I asked you to sculpt and paint, because I had a picture of that somebody did with fan art of Daniel Radcliffe as Wolverine.
Oh yeah.
I have always said, especially when I saw some pictures of him after he started buffing up a little bit, I said, he kind of looks like Wolverine. And I said, I think I want one. So I said, I've got the outfit and the body. Let me see if somebody can do me a head sculpt. So I'm actually kind of in the process of working that out. But if I do, I'll have my variant, my Daniel Radcliffe Wolverine variant, which would be kind of cool. So I mean, I'm kind of, so yeah, sometimes taking a figure like this or like anything, you can, especially you guys got a particular set of skills, so y'all can really do your little thing on it and come up with a really good figure.
Absolutely, yeah, and you can do. I mean, you could go with the whole snow effect like you did with that Chewie. Yeah, and that would look good. I've seen people do that. I mean, the one that Chris Donaldson has done is absolutely incredible.
Oh, the guy's on another level
with all the boxes and all the ice on them, and I mean that's insane. But yeah, it shows that you can do some good stuff. With this, yeah, maybe I'll and that 200. I mean, I know there's shipping on that as well, but. No, that's shipped. That's shipped. Yeah, it's just whether you get any customs or not. Free worldwide shipping. Well, to most countries. Maybe it's worth it. Maybe it's worth a punt. Yeah, it'd be a cool figure to have for my 80s collection. So yeah,
100%.
Especially those cool accessories. I mean that alone is worth the price of admission.
Yeah. Yeah, and maybe you swap out the plastic flame for you make one out of cotton and stuff like that, and that would look pretty cool.
Yep. So next up, this
made us laugh.
See, I saw it on the show sheet. I couldn't remember which one it was, but the picture's fucking brilliant. HM Toys, Moonlight Panic, and by fuck is he panicking? 107 quid, Q1 2024. Rainer's off.
Yeah,
He's off.
Good night, Rainer.
Good night.
See you
Sleep
tomorrow,
tight,
buddy. Looking forward to it.
This is such an unnecessary figure.
And it's just too late as well. I mean, is it out for next Halloween?
Yeah, because for anyone who will be listening, this is a Michael Myers, and Trick or Treat Studios does a load of Michael Myers figures, which don't break the bank. They're about the same price, and they're infinitely better than this. This is such a weird looking figure because Now the overalls I think look okay.
Yeah.
I don't think they're quite the right colour, but they look a bit too big.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they are too big or if it's just that tiny little fucking peanut head that they
Yeah.
on there.
That looks like Beetlejuice's head when the guy shrunk it at the end of the movie.
Yeah. So I can't tell whether or not the clothes are too big, or because look at the hands. The hands look in proportion to the body. So I'm guessing that it's actually just the head making.
Head.
Yeah, making
And then
it
he's
look.
standing on a 1/18th scale base, which it looks like one of those, those crazy scenes they used to do in like Nightmare on Elm Street, where all of a sudden he'd be like a giant. It looks like that's one of those sort of spoofy scenes.
It looks like someone's built a dio for Warhammer figures and just shoved a scale figure.
And, he literally does not need to take the stairs to get down to the ground.
No, he just
just take one step right.
I don't get it. It's
the
awful.
second head
If they're just giving him like a little bit of the port, a little tiny bit of deck and the porch or something like that, which we've seen people make, that would have been fine. But the fact that that's just, that's ridiculous, and it's taking up a fuck load of space as well. That base, isn't it?
I don't know what they're trying to achieve.
No,
but the head is in proportion to the set. Actually, the bodies, the heads seem to be like they would fit right in.
Yeah, I don't think you're far off there.
So he's got his pumpkins. He's got his little pumpkin carving kit there. He's all set. He's all good to go.
He's got one really pale bloody hand.
Yeah.
That just seems to be a completely different colour to everything else.
As far as I understand, Trick or Treat Cheers have got this line sewn up. And there's no need for this. Why would you bring out something like this?
No, I mean if another company sat there, a third party company said, "Look, we can absolutely fucking nail that," but not this. Not this.
Yeah,
not like this.
I think the only way I would pick up something like this would be if I found it at the dollar store where all things go to die. Yeah, I pay $1 for it, and keep the accessories maybe.
Fucking horrendous is what it is. So let's move along swiftly.
Cool.
I like this.
Yeah.
This is a bit of Warhammer. I like this.
Yeah.
So this is Elephant Toys Hammer Award Death Legion, 150 quid at Q1 2024. So this is the Death Corps of Krieg. I think they're called.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So these are Imperial Guard. So when most people think of Imperial Guard, they think Acadians, but you've also got these guys.
Yeah.
This looks really good. I really like this.
Yeah.
Now, is this from a video game or something?
It's Warhammer, so it's
Warhammer.
tabletop.
Warhammer 40,000.
Okay.
Because my son's just bought the Kill Team and painted them up, and I saw this. I was like, "Oh, that looks fantastic," because obviously they're modelled on like World War One infantry gear. So you got the gas mask, the helmet.
Kind of looks like a Nazi with the bird.
Exactly,
on it.
that's what it is. Yeah.
Okay.
And it just looks really cool. I like it. I like, it's. we know nothing about this company. Never heard of them before. It could be janky as shit, but I like it. And obviously, it'd be cool if they started making other Warhammer stuff.
I mean, for 150 quid, I'd be buying it for the bits, and then jigging it about, weathering it up.
Yeah.
But I really, really like this, because there was another company that did a Guardsman as well ages ago.
Right.
That was officially licensed the whole lot.
Yeah.
And it didn't come out amazing.
No.
But I like this. I think this is great.
I mean, a 6 scale like Warhammer would be brilliant. They'd be expensive because if
most stuff would be fucking massive.
Space
If you think
huge,
because if you think about an Imperial Guard is a normal human, and then a Space Marine is probably twice the size.
Yeah.
So a normal Space Marine would probably be about the same size, probably a bit taller, but same kind of girth as the Kingpin you got behind you, Thomas.
Oh,
yeah.
So he'd be a lot taller though. And then you've got
Custodies who are even bigger.
Custodies who are even bigger than that, who would probably be getting onto like Venom type size.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Then you've got like Eldar or Eldari as they're called now, and you've got like orcs and all that. They're all quite fucking Primarchs would be massive.
Yeah.
But you've got so so much stuff there you could do. But I think when Cavill's film eventually comes out, we're being inundated with stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
There will be stuff.
Because I picked up one of the Joy Toy figures. They're really good.
They are good. Yeah,
I've been looking at them for a long time, and they're just going to be. They're going to bring out their first Adeptus Mechanicus ones, hopefully in December. So I pre-ordered one for my boy, and then I thought, actually, I'll pick up a Space Marine, see what they're like. They're bloody brilliant. Like you can get the basic Space Marine,
very clean,
£35, very clean, obviously. 35 quid. Good articulation, about the size of a bit bigger than a Star Wars, like 3 3/4. But yeah, you get loads of weapons and accessories, and obviously swap out hands and stuff. They are really good. So I've got a Custodes one coming with his. I don't plan on getting into it big time, but they are nice, and it kind of
the Dreadnoughts look really good.
Fantastic! Yeah, they're doing
They
the Castellan robot as well from the that's going to be really cool. But yeah, I mean the Dreadnoughts, they're like 120, 130 quid.
Yeah, fucking massive, but they do look really good.
Yeah,
really good.
So I think, yeah, as you say, I think Warhammer in other scales is an untapped market really. And I'm not saying that you would have tons because of the size, but it'd be nice to have one or two maybe to represent that. But yeah, he's cool. I like him.
He's very nice looking.
Once it's kit, and thought I would talk about him. Here we go, Thomas. This is your.
Here we go.
This is your jam.
The present toys Mutant Man cease. We don't have a price on this at the moment, but yeah,
it's funny because I've been looking for Mutant Man A and B, but then I was thinking the C must be a Cyclops reference.
Oh, that's probably it.
Because it was a bit odd. I was thinking,
to be fair, with those little pants on, it could stand for cock.
Codpiece.
Oh man,
it's Psycock.
Yeah.
And strangely enough, he's not that far. He's not that far off from Sideshow.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think it looks good.
Yeah, it does look good, but I actually the head sculpt though looks a lot better than the Sideshow version. But that's actually kind of cool.
Dropping down the picture, they've got.
I do like it.
You get the firing head sculpt and stuff. He's got about 3 head sculpts, and one with the beam coming out and stuff. And that looks really good. I'm just going to see if I can find that. I like it, and all I've seen is a lot of people criticising, going, "Oh, it's present toys. It'll come out in like 6 years' time," but they are bringing stuff out. It's not.
I don't find them to
bad.
be like stupidly slow. Like
No.
I've not noticed it being any slower than most other companies.
No, and I say they've just released the 3 figures from Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and I've got the Clint Eastwood one. So I don't think you should not buy them because you think they're never going to come out. They are coming out.
Right.
What I've noticed with present toys though is stuff comes out and it kind of just comes out.
Yeah.
There's no like fanfare, or you suddenly don't see like loads of different pictures of
so
stuff.
people don't realise what's come out. I think sometimes.
Yeah, I think it's more that than the fact that they're just being slow.
Yeah, and that indie figure was great. Well, it wasn't as great as it could have been. There were a lot of bits like
It was the best out the box indie we've had in years.
Yeah, and a lot of people bought that figure and used it as their base for. They're indies. So, the stuff I've had from them, the indie and the Clint Eastwood, fantastic. For the money as well, really good. So, I think if you like the look of this figure, I would jump on it because
it's very nice.
And I think there'll be more. I can't see they're just bringing out Cyclops. I think they'll do some more, and I like that outfit. I like that look. I'd be tempted.
It's nice to see him start with Cyclops.
Yeah.
Normally it's the Wolverine.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
We've had a fair few of them already, so.
It's funny because I don't like Cyclops because I don't like the portrayal of him in the movies. But as a character in the comic books and this look, I love him. I think he's a really cool.
Yeah, I mean he's kind of a intense person in the comic books, and I kind of dig him because he's kind of all right. Have y'all ever seen? There's a show here that used to play here in the U.S. It's called Criminal Minds,
Yeah.
and there's the guy who is the I guess like the head of that one. He's like that. Cyclops reminds me of that character where he's very intense. He's not. I mean, he kind of. That's who he kind of reminds me of as a character, and I kind of like that he has that intensity. They really nerfed him. That was another thing I hated about the X-Men movies is how they disposed of him. And they were trying to make it so that Bryan Singer was trying to make it so that Wolverine and Jean Grey could be together. And I'm like, you don't understand the property. The love of her life is Scott Summers. Mm-hmm. All these other characters like what's his name? Cable, all these are all the Summers line, Summers and Grey. So I mean, you can't just drop them off like that.
Yeah, if you fuck that up, you fuck up anything else you're ever going to release.
Right. I mean, so I don't get it, but yeah, that's a nice figure. That's something I would consider, even though I already have a Cyclops. Sometimes I like having a different version of it, just in case they either did the costume a little bit better or the head sculpt. Yeah. Sometimes having the extra one, and if it's cheap enough, I mean, if it stays in line with the other figures, I might consider picking him up.
I'm just going to drop
that's a nice one.
Picture with all the stuff it comes with because it looks really good.
And anyone who's given me mutants is my friend. Give me mutants.
Let's put.
Yeah, they are cool.
When I started collecting comic books, that was the very first thing that I ever started collecting were X-Men comic books. And so they've always been a favorite of mine, even though I love other, properties like, Superman and Wonder Woman and even even the Avengers. The X-Men led me into the Avengers because that was a time when the Avengers is basically anybody in the Marvel universe has been an Avenger at one time or another. So some of the mutants, like I think that it might have been when Beast joined the Avengers, I went over and started looking at some of the Avengers, comic books. So that's what kind of moved me over into the Avengers was my exposure to the X-Men. So yeah,
Marvel are very good at that comic wise.
Exactly.
Because they do, the characters do cross over quite a bit, but not just for like a couple of comics. They do it for a while. It really does help to introduce you to kind of stuff that you just wouldn't have normally picked up.
Not coming
right. I remember when Spider-Man and even She-Hulk, when they became members of the Fantastic Four.
Yeah. Yeah, you wouldn't.
They swap out anytime they think of it. They can swap somebody out. But yeah.
Why is that not coming back in?
Anytime.
Do you know why the slideshow's not coming in?
Try that.
There we go.
Oh, there we go. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's cool, isn't it? I love the beam.
That is nice.
And you get this base with the deluxe version.
I like the head sculpt on the right.
With a leather jacket. Look, you use that for your Macready.
Exactly.
Yeah, with like the little bit, like a bit like a Superman with the burning. Yeah,
that is nice. Yeah. Okay, present toys. I hear you.
Yeah,
I hear what you're saying.
It? Yeah,
I think I'm on board.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
That's really very nice.
Yeah.
Did y'all see the Chun-Li that they released?
Yeah, we talked about it a few shows ago. Have they actually released it, or is it just?
I'm sorry that they introduced it.
Yeah. I mean, obviously we did see it, we put it up. We talked about it, but we kind of talked about it in sort of relation to the iconic one that's coming, and obviously we're friends with Andy, and he was sort of saying, it's probably going to be. He's going to say that, but I mean, obviously, he didn't think that it would be a great product and that the posability would be shit on it and stuff like that. But it remains to be seen. And obviously, we haven't seen the iconic one yet. But it's one of those things where I think if you're after one, I would definitely wait to see what the iconic one comes out like.
I know Iconic is going to do a great one.
Yeah,
I mean, they've been smashing them.
Yeah, and it'll be a better product. It'll probably cost you more, but I think wait till they solicit theirs and then make your choice as to what you want to, what you're happy to pay and which one you like best. But yeah, it's good to see, some competition at least.
Yeah.
Unlicensed, albeit as well. Because obviously Andy Iconic does have the license for the Street Fighter figures.
Now, is he based out of the UK?
Yeah. Andy is.
Andy is. Yeah.
Okay.
But obviously the figures are produced in China, like most of them. But yeah, he's UK. Yeah.
Wow, this is a good figure. I'm on board.
Right, I like this.
Yeah, I dropped this in late. So this is the Inbox Studio Monster of Hoth, aka Tonton. I got their Wampa last year. Fantastic figure. All properly I say rooted. It's not rooted. Obviously, they stick the hair on, but it's fully furred. Really good, and their prices are very reasonable. So again, they're I think they're based in the Philippines. So the actual price on these aren't too bad. So they're what have I got? They're $280. Yeah, $280 each. So there's this version. I couldn't find the one with both on. So there's this version here, which is version A, which is Hans one, that's got the two intact horns, and is in the sort of the classic kind of upright, on the hind legs kind of sitting pose, which for me is the one that I'm going to pre-order. It's $280, and they've quoted me just over $100 for shipping. So you're still, early 300s, which I think for a fully furred, Tonton with all soft goods and stuff is still a bloody good price. When people are paying $700 for the sideshow one, that's just a big lump of polystone. And if I hadn't already bought, the Wampa, I might have gone, I'm not sure on the quality, but that Wampa's fantastic, and I've no doubt this is going to be just as good. So the other one is in sort of more of a running pose, and it's Luke's one with the one that's got the broken off bit of horn on the left. But obviously you could futz them in as you like. I'm only going to go with one because I've got one already. I've got a repainted Hasbro one, so it should fit in. It's about the right height, about the same height, so it should fit in like for like. You get a little bit of a discount, I think, if you get the two together. But the other thing I think is that it would make a nice diorama, but if you watch the movie, they never appear on Tontons together. That they're never on them together. So
now, would I be wrong in saying this? But if you just look at just the face, not the horns, doesn't that face remind you of the flying dog from the Never-Ending Story?
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure I wasn't wrong.
No, absolutely it does. And I love Falcor as well. He's cool. I've seen people make customs of him. So this has got a weird window. So they're basically saying December of this year to September, and that doesn't mean they're basically going to put them out in batches. So they're going to do it in order of whoever pays first, probably, because a lot of people got PMs in before me because I think it went live at 3:00 in the afternoon and I was at work and I missed it. But I think the real decider should be right. Everyone gets given an invoice, and whoever pays theirs first, they'll rank them in order. And then, so we might see a couple sort of drip out before Christmas, but the majority are going to be probably the first half of next year. They haven't put a limit on the numbers or anything like that, so obviously that could extend it. But yeah, I think my Wampa, I was like in the second batch or something like that, so people got them before me. But yeah, that's fine. So yeah, I like it. I mean, they've done some great stuff. They've done the Banthas, and like you're talking like, I can't even. no point in me putting my hands on the screen. It's absolutely huge, and I would love one, but I don't have the space for a panther.
Now
But they did
they were in the snow scenes, right?
Yeah,
Were they in
yeah.
were they in the same ones with that abominable snowman?
Yeah, that's
type
the
of guy?
Wampa. That's what I'm talking
Okay, the
about.
Wampa.
Yeah.
Well, I've got a little version.
Oh yeah, you've got your funny little guy that. And don't you be getting those Pinocchios out again? That was filth.
Hey, those guys were just expressing themselves.
Yeah, dirty Disney. Yeah. So the Wampa is what kills Luke's Tonton and obviously takes Luke back to his cave.
Oh.
And then he cuts its arm off with his saber. So it'll go right next to the Wampa in my collection.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I knew they were going to do this for quite a while, and they just So it's really cool.
What studio makes this?
Inbox. They're called Inbox Studio.
Okay.
But they just make, as far as I know, they just make these large. I think they did a Blurg back before Hot Toys did one.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, and they've done a Bantha, and you think how big they are, like to scale, 1/6 scale Bantha. And I think they've, obviously there'll be more to come. I don't know whether they bother to do a dewback now that Hot Toys have announced their one. And I think these guys are very much like, they're more, into the stuff with fur and stuff like that. Blurg accepted. And I think he's also already, somebody said, I haven't got loads, I've just got the one picture. Someone said, the eyes are too big, like the pupils are too big. And they talked about this neck seam, and they've already been improved. So they've already put some pictures up to say.
Yeah, I thought I saw some photos.
Yeah. So they've blended the neck in because it's not like a swap out neck or anything. Because I thought at first maybe they'd give you the two different heads so that you could swap it for Luke or Hans, but it's not. So that's been smoothed out, and the eyes are now being brought in a little bit small, so they're not sort of like too massive. But I think it looks fantastic, and it's all these little things you never really notice that they've got these like little
spikes and stuff
on their tails and inside their legs and stuff. So yeah, it's I think it's brilliant. I'm awaiting my invoice. They said something to me about their invoices would start going out this month. So if you want it, you have to put a 50% deposit down. So deposits for the single is 139. And then when it's ready to ship, you'll get the other 139 plus whatever the going rate for the shipping is, which I've been quoted $106, so about 85 pounds probably.
It's not terrible considering how big and heavy it is.
It's heavy, 6 kilograms shipping weight. It's coming from Philippines. The Wampa was probably about the same. Massive box, marked down as $20. No customs or anything. So. All good. So looking forward to this. Absolutely.
I like the fact that they're using, fake. I mean, fur at least.
Yeah.
On the action instead of sculpting the fur.
Yeah. Nobody's done that. It's the first person to do, apart from like maybe one-off customs and stuff. It's
that's
the first
very, very nice
one with the fur, and they did a really nice job with the fur on the.
Because that's very short fur.
Yeah.
So they had to do that with very good care.
Yep.
But and you can still see the musculature.
Yeah.
And that's excellent. That's excellent.
Yeah. So that's going to be one of my hot releases for next year. I think I look forward to that.
Man, that is so cool.
And then we had just this announcement here. You can.
So I'm quite excited by this, but I mean I'm taking it with a pinch of salt because it's been Sideshow. So Sideshow have got the Evil Dead 2 license. I love Evil Dead. I am very much looking forward to some new figures. However, I think what they're going to do is reissue the Evil Dead 2 Ash, which lots of people, out of all the Ashes that have been released, that's probably the best so far because the Asmus one left a lot to be desired.
How old was that figure? When would that first come out?
That was, you are probably looking at 7-8 years, something like that.
So you don't mean re-release, you mean like remake?
Oh, yeah.
A modern quality version. Yeah.
Oh no, no in Sideshow. I think it will be.
Well, yeah, okay, yeah.
It will
It'd be the exact same
be
figure. Yeah.
exactly the same, but they won't do like a double jointed elbow where you need it or something.
Yeah.
They will find a way
Yeah,
to make it slightly worse. Yeah,
You're
be like
right. Actually,
Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
So I think
and charge you 250 quid for it.
Yep, 250 quid for the pleasure
Yeah,
of it.
yeah.
So I think definitely they're going to reissue that Ash. It would be great if we got an S Smart Ash, because they've done that before. You know, but
Yeah.
the S Smart Ash actually wouldn't cut. No, that wouldn't be Evil Dead 2. So I don't think we would, because they had the Army of Darkness license as well.
Was he the third movie, Army of Darkness?
He was end of the third movie. Yeah, S Smart Ash.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be great if we got a Henrietta. I think that would be
Yes.
fantastic.
Other
than that,
it's just Evil Dead 2, but then that's the one, isn't it? That's the one that everyone loves, because it's like
I think they called her the
first
basement bitch, right, or something like that. Henrietta, the big fat floating bitch.
Yeah,
that was that we need Henrietta.
Yeah, because your only other options really are you've got the hillbilly guy, his girlfriend. You've got the two. You could possibly have Ed. So an Ed would be cool, because with loads of the different teeth and that, so that would be pretty cool. But you don't have a great deal of characters in it.
No.
But I'm interested to see what they actually do.
Yeah. Because
it would be great.
And they've also, I didn't put it on here, but they also put up a teaser for the It from the TV show, the Tim Curry one, just a picture of balloons and stuff. But that's cool. So they've always had an interest in horror. They've always knocked out horror figures. Way back to their Universal Monsters figures from 15 odd years ago. So it's good to see them announcing some stuff. But as I say, you have to take it with a pinch of salt with Sideshow, because the prices have shot up and the quality's not. In a lot of cases, occasionally they surprise us and bring out a banger. Like some of the, they're bringing out a lot of the Clint Eastwood stuff, aren't they? And they're really hit or miss. Some are brilliant, like people were saying. Some are fantastic, and some are shit. They just announced the William Money from Unforgiven, and the head sculpt's a bit off on that one, but the Power Rider one looks really good. And so they're a bit up and down, but they can do good work when they feel like it. So that's good.
100%. So that was pretty much everything. That has come out or coming out. So we'll have a little look at Custom Corner. I've actually been painting 6-scale again for a little while, which has been quite enjoyable.
Are those yours, Ian?
Yes, these are ones I painted.
Who's that one? The ball-headed one. I like that one.
The one in the middle, that's Sean Flannery. Flannery? Is that how you spell it? Is that how you pronounce
Patrick
it?
Flannery from the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
that is it. So, these were got Deckard, which is Blade Runner.
Okay.
The other two are Sean from a film called Nefarious. So in that, he gets... I've not seen the film, but what I was told by the person I painted it for was that he gets possessed. So under his eyes go really red and kind of stoned, which is why he looks like he's been up all night getting wankered. And then we've got Ventress from the Clone Wars as well, which is by What a Scrapyard. But the guy who sculpted those two in the middle, his name is... I've just forgotten it. Daniel Gonzalez. So
really?
He did those two. And I'm not sure who did the Deckard, if I'm honest.
The Deckard,
I think that's one I got off of
is the recast of the knockoff one that came with the... I can't remember the make of it now. The one I picked up, which is in itself is a recast of the Inigo one from a few years ago.
Because I grabbed that off of eBay ages ago. And was like, I just feel like painting it because it's a cool sculpt, and then never bothered.
Yeah,
it sat on my shelf for ages.
I think its origins lie in the Inigo sculpt from several years ago.
Ian, I might have to ask you to maybe after the show to see if you can give me a link for Daniel. I might want to contact him about about my little project and see what his prices are, because I like
Yeah.
that head sculpt. That
Yeah,
looks so good.
I think he's over in the States.
Oh, okay.
So that might make life a lot easier because you've got a printer as well, haven't you?
I do.
So he will probably be able to sell you the files for whatever it is that you want to do.
Oh, okay.
To be fair,
I like that. Man. He does excellent work. I'm really impressed, and you do excellent work. I love your paint application on him.
so it's been ages since I painted anything 6 scale, because it just kind of dried up, like the work just kind of dried up. So I just I never do it to make money. I do it for a bit of fun.
Yeah.
But I've had some other stuff sent through now as well, which is quite handy. The problem is because I haven't been doing anything for myself. I've just not been doing any, and then the Warhammer's kind of taken over ever so slightly. But part of Warhammer is painting, so it's quite a big chunk of it. So, but yeah, it definitely got me interested in 6 scale again, and I was looking at stuff thinking, right, what do I want to do? What figures do I want to do? Because I've had a bit of a clear out, and I've got some stuff that I want to get rid of. But I was looking at things going, actually, I could keep that and I could do something to it. But yeah, so it was fun. These were a lot of fun to paint, and now I've got a few other. I think that Ventress. So sorry. Yeah, it's Ventress. She's grey. Now she's meant to be grey. But the person I'm doing it for wants it painted white, so I now need to go back in and try and paint that white. But I did a lot of that one with my airbrush, which was quite a lot of fun actually. I'm quite liking, I'm quite digging the airbrush. In fact, actually, the 2 Sean ones were done with an airbrush as well. And then like to base it and stuff. Just to base it, and then everything else was brush on top. But it saves me so much time and money having an airbrush now. Just using airbrush primer. Because I was all rattle can before. But I'm very much enjoying painting 6 scale again, which is always handy. But then in Mini Mayhem, I have also been doing quite a bit of these as well. So what I've got are these eliminators, which are these little. I've been playing a lot with snow effects. So these eliminators are these. The idea is they've got these like camo cloaks that are meant to just mimic whatever they're on, and people do some really cool effects. But I wanted to play around with these, so I used a load of like gravel and stuff on the cloaks, and then put a load of like snow over the top, and then went in with the airbrush and darkened some bits and pieces. And I don't think they've come out too bad. I still need to finish off the Imperial Knight, that's one of the smaller ones. But I still need to finish the base on that.
Is he rocking a Jamaica flag on the top of him, Max?
No, I fucked up. I was gonna do like a weird funky pattern, and then I fucked up, so I just did it black in the end.
Right. Okay.
And then just left the cross on.
But I love the aging that you age. I mean, you're able to age that metal so nicely. It looks so good.
So what I found was with the metal stuff was I bought the Games Workshop airbrush paint for metal, sprayed it with that, and then I got this other weathering stuff, which is you're meant to do drips with it, rush streaks. But I just coated the whole model in it, let it go off for a bit, and then went in with some cotton wool and a bit of white spirit, and just started wiping it off in places. So it gave the whole thing a pretty dirty, rusty kind of look. And I think it's come out okay. So I've got another one of those, because these come in 2s, I think. And the other one's going to be the exact reverse of that one. So instead of yellow trim, it'll have the red trim, and the bulk of it will be yellow. But that one will, when that's all rusted, that will come out a weird kind of orangey colour. But I'm really enjoying painting the Imperial Knights, just because they don't look like there's a lot to them, but there's a shit ton to them. And I got to play with my mate's really cool gadget, So I bought some Imperial Knights off of eBay, and they were fucking caked in paint. So he's got this ultrasonic cleaner. So you fill it with IPA, chuck the models in, stick it on for 10 minutes, and you literally just take a toothbrush to them and all the paint falls off and it breaks down the glue and stuff. So you can get some really good deals on Warhammer stuff secondhand, particularly if someone's just had a go and it's caked in layers of paint. If you got one of those, you save yourself a fortune.
What I'm loving now, because I've sort of subscribed to millions of these Facebook groups for Warhammer and stuff. Stuff I love, like you talk about the cloaks. I've seen people where they do like a transition, so you've got the
looks really good
bit, and also just like where they do the glow effects on the lights and stuff. I'd love to see you have a go at that. You know, where you kind of got the bright white and then you kind of fade it out, so they've got the green and the red. Also, like the guns where they're red hot, all those sort of they look amazing. Like, just insane.
I'd tell you one of the things I want to try and do are non-metallic metallics. I'll try and find a photo because they are honestly amazing.
But Thomas, the stuff people do with these are incredible, and considering they're like this big.
I'm just sitting here looking at how tiny they are, but the amount of detail, the edging, like I think like on the leg piece where you can see the yellow trim. My hands aren't steady enough because they tremble because of some medication I'm on, so I would never be able to get a line that straight. That is amazing that you can do it in such small detail.
And the other ones I like, Ian, are the ones that you've probably seen where they paint them like they're a 2D drawing. They are insane.
Wow.
Some of the stuff people like, I like painting, right? But I will never get to this level of detail. So this here, right? Let me share my screen and I'll show you. This is what I want to try next, and I'm nowhere near gonna get close to this. Where is it?
It's loading.
If it eventually loads up. So this here, right? This is non-metallic. Right, non-metallic metals. So all of this is just done normal paint. Absolutely fucking phenomenal. This, and the idea of this is that you're effectively what you do is you shine a light on the model when it's not painted, take a photo.
Yeah. Then you paint in
and
the lighting. You
try
paint
and
in the.
It's mental.
Yeah.
It's mental.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
But then again, they might have spent 100 hours on that one figure. So as you say, it's about what you've got time for and where you want to allocate your resources, isn't it? And and it is still that big.
Yeah. So like
in real life, you're not enjoying it in the same way that you do with the 6 scale. Photography looks brilliant, but you know.
So those little guys with the snow cloaks, 3 of those probably took me 8 hours to paint the squad. The guy on the Imperial Knight probably took another 8 hours on its own. But like some of the characters and stuff, if it's a really like the lion, that guy I did weeks ago with the giant fuck off sword, that I will quite happily spend days on. Not a problem because it is such a phenomenally cool figure. But squads of stuff, because what I found with some of the other models I painted, particularly like when I had orcs, so I sold my orcs and I hardly painted any of them. I painted the cool big characters, but the squads were like 30 models each. And I was like, that's just not happening. Whereas now I've got a rule. If I've got a squad of 10, I will paint 5. I'll then move on to a character or a tank or something.
Just to split it up.
And so I don't know. So I'll turn my camera on to see if you can see it. But what I'm working on at the moment, in amongst everything else, because apparently I like to work on fucking hundreds of things at once. Would help if I take the fucking cap off the camera as well, wouldn't it? is, if I can get the fucking thing off, before my internet fucking blows up, is this little guy on a bike. I don't know if you can just make him out, but I'm trying to work on the snow bit and try and get a bit of snow on the guy. But he's a chaplain on a bike, and it's a model I had never really wanted it. I painted one for my mate and fell in love with it, and I was like, this is like, I don't care if it's shit in the game. It's just a cool model.
Yeah, you can fall into that trap because I do the custodians and I've nearly finished painting all mine, but I go to the sort of the local wargaming club on a Monday night and we take our kids and that, and they do painting and all that, so it's really nice. And I see other people's models and I'm like, man, that looks cool. So I bought myself 3 of the is it the aggressors, the Space Marine ones with the giant guns on the. I just love them. So I'm like, I bought 3 of them just because I've never played with them, but they just look so good. They're just massive. So yeah, you kind of get like, yeah,
those ones.
That's it. Yeah, they're fantastic.
I printed the jet stream.
Oh yeah, nice.
Because I hate the stands.
Yeah,
they give these horrible little stands.
Yeah.
And I found the files for those.
Oh, nice.
Although by the looks of it, they're starting to split, which is a little bit alarming.
But yeah, you can just like, there's stuff you're never going to play with, or you can't because they're not part of your army. But they're just so cool. I bought them. I think they was 30 quid for 3, and they're really well painted. They're already painted. They're just random. One's black, one's blue, and one's yellow. But they're just they're just on the side here, and I just
they're cool.
Really,
they're very
cool
very
models,
cool little models.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you guys are mad talented. I love that.
To be fair, a lot of it is just lots of practice. Because I started painting Warhammer fucking. It was years ago. Like I must have been middle school, so I must have only been 10 or 11. Then I took a break from it. Then got back into it in secondary school. Then ended up back on it again after that. So yeah, you just kind of dip in and out, and I've always painted stuff, so it's always kind of, it's just practice.
Yeah.
And I'm way behind Ian's skills on those, but I can paint them to a decent tabletop level. Essentially, at the end of the day, if you're playing with these, you're picking them up, you're chucking them on the side, you're picking them up, you're moving them about. You can get away with a certain level. If you're not looking at them, photographing them under a macro lens. So I'm kind of that level. Ian's kind of a level above, and then they've got these other people that are just fucking. I don't know how they do it. So but it's fun.
There's a really good video. I can't remember who it is, but what he does is he breaks down how long he thinks people takes to paint stuff, and about the main message is like, you look at the people who are posting stuff on social media, and they are doing that shit constant. They might spend like a month painting something to like competition level. Whereas actually most people, they're not doing that.
No. Absolutely.
And it can be a bit off-putting sometimes because you'll always be comparing yourself.
Yeah, and I think that was why I didn't really enjoy it. But then as I've been doing it, I've found my level, and I'm happy with the level that I can paint to, and the time I've got to do that. That they're decent tabletop standard, and that's to me, they're not going to be out on display. They're for playing with, so that's good enough for me. And and you do improve as you find different ways of doing stuff, and you kind of get a routine, don't you? But which bits you paint.
Yeah. These bases I printed are fucking awful. It's weird. The resin's gone really funny. It's not like I looked at it for shit. Maybe these were hollow, but they're not. But the resin's kind of
what's that? Those jetpack things.
Yeah, they've got great cracks that have appeared all the way through them. and I've got quite a bit of stuff printed with this resin.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that.
So I've magnetized all my bases now, and you just get
Makes
get
life
yourself
so much easier,
a
doesn't
nice slab of metal, Thomas, and then you just magnetize all your figures to it. So if you transport them around, they don't go anywhere when you're in the car.
That's smart. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's smart.
And those maggots are dirt cheap, aren't they? So you just yeah, no, it's cool. It's cool. Yeah, so film and TV. I mean, I don't. To be honest, I've not watched a lot, not seen a lot. I've not been to the cinema for quite some time. It doesn't seem to have been anything that's like really caught my eye or anything. But I have just recently watched a Netflix show called Bodies, and I don't know if it's out in the States or not. It's based on a comic book, a graphic novel that I'd not heard of, and I'm not sure when it came out. But it's very good. It's like it's a kind of murder mystery type thing, but it's got time travel and stuff in there. So the characters you see here, they are all investigating the appearance of this same body, but the guy at the bottom is in 1890, Victorian London. The guy above him there with the moustache, he's in the Second World War, 1941. The girl in the police outfit is 2023, and the one at the top is 2053. But this body appears in each of their time zones at the same time, and they start to realise that there's something odd going on, and that
the same body.
Yeah. That
Okay.
other people have investigated this same murder, 80 years
So
ago.
so it's like a cold case that keeps reappearing and coming relevant in their time. Oh,
Yeah, it's really good. If you can
interesting.
find it, so I don't know if it's in the States or not. It's 8 parts, 8 hours. I binge watched it in 3 or 4 days and really, really enjoyed it. So yeah, worth a look if you can get hold of it.
I'll definitely see if I can find that.
And I've ordered the comic book now, so I want to read the source material for it because I really enjoyed it. So
who did the comic? Was it Image or?
I'm not sure. Let me have a look because I got it pre-ordered on Amazon. It should be coming next week. So I don't know when it originally came out because it said it was a pre-order, but it might be that they've reprinted it because of the TV show. Just having a look. Bodies graphic novel. So it's written by Cy Spencer. It's a DC.
Oh, DC.
DC
okay.
put it out. Yeah, DC Black Label. Yeah. So, but so I should get that next week. So that'd be good. Possibly 2014 somewhere in there. Says. So yeah. Cool.
Well, it sounds really cool. I'll definitely be on the lookout for that.
Yeah.
Check Netflix tonight, see if they have it.
Give it a go. Yeah. I really enjoyed it. What about yourselves? Have you watched anything good recently that you'd recommend?
Fuck have I been watching? Yes, Big Mouth. New series of Big Mouth.
That's an acquired taste, mate.
It's definitely down.
I've tried it, and I just find it quite. It's quite uncomfortable watching it.
That's why I like it.
Well, yeah, exactly. I can see that.
What else? Problem is, I've been playing a lot of games. I've not really been watching stuff. Although it feels I think because I've gone back through and started watching stuff like The American Office again and things like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've not really been watching. Oh, I think I watched the new South Park the other day.
Oh, really?
Pandaverse. Yeah, that's funny. I like that. That was good. What else? No, I think that's it. Like I said, I've been mainly playing games. More than anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything I printed with this fucking batch of resin is absolutely bollocks.
Oh, the other thing I watched was it's funny because I did mention him a few shows ago. was the Jimmy Savile thing with Steve Coogan.
Oh yeah. Certainly good.
The Reckoning. Yeah, really good. Yeah, really good, and it's quite uncanny. His kind of portrayal of Jimmy Savile, and you kind of like, yeah, you it certainly gives you. I mean, obviously, I don't know how much of it is accurate, but he's quite scary. And then when you think that was like a real guy that was acting like that, it's really good. I think it's only 4 parts. That was really good, and also as we've got Stephen Graham, who's the man, and he's fantastic. He's like one of my favourite actors. They did a Boiling Point on BBC as well, which is it was originally a movie. I think like a 25-minute movie set in a restaurant.
Yes,
Stephen Graham is the head chef, and they've done a follow-up series again. I think it was 4 episodes. That was really good as well. So yeah, I watched them recently as well. So and I'm just finishing up things like Strange New Worlds and Titans and things like that, because I watched them with my mate, and we've been a bit sporadic seeing each other recently, so we've got a few episodes left of those 2 shows to finish off. But yeah. I mean, obviously we're getting into the TV season we've had the clocks go back here, so it's dark at 4:30.
I'm kind of glad that I think they stopped it here. Well, they stopped it I think a year and a half ago, but it went into effect this year. So we just keep it the same the whole year round. And I'm so glad, because that whole springing ahead and falling back, and just remembering when to do it.
It's just a colossal pain in the ass.
Yeah, and it's not like, I mean, with obviously with mobile phones and everything being smart now, it's not the nightmare that it used to be like 30 years ago, where you could like miss stuff because you thought it was this time, and you know but it's not quite as difficult these days. There's not many clocks left in your house that you've actually got to manually change. But I think it's a bit pointless, to be honest, Thomas. I think it's a bit of an antiquated thing. Yeah, that might have worked. It was something to do with the farmers or something, wasn't it? But it doesn't It doesn't really. I think in like today's modern society, it doesn't really, because everyone's got with artificial lights and stuff. It doesn't. It's a bit pointless to me. I'd scrap it, but yeah.
It's fucking horseshit. Don't know what is wrong with it.
Absolutely, yeah.
Fuck it. It's pain in the ass.
So clearly it's not the dog's bollocks.
Definitely not. Definitely not. No.
It's utter horseshit is what it is.
Definitely be good to go. Right, so that's kind of the end of the content for our show. Thanks for watching, and let's just go through our wonderful Patreonies. We've got Ian Seaby, Rene Mendez, Eric Mariscal, Quinn Aguirre, King Louis, Mark Pearson, Paul Schreiber, Equan, Chris Van Serena, Ben Thomas, Chris Leddy, David Jones, Sam Gist, Dominator, Joao Brader, the classy Thomas Clark, Eric Switzer, Six Guns Figs, Badfish, Toy Cartel, Danny Lee, Dini Martin, Stephen Crett, Big Fern, Caesar Mariquin, Mark Phillips, Lisa Martin Bramonsky, Rick De Gregorio, Ricardo Valdos, Jose CZ, Erwin Assassina, the illustrious Rayner, who is in on our shores, and we will hopefully be meeting up with him tomorrow. Alid Morgan, Takathri Wah, Dario Bezinski, Aris Portillo, Alvin J, Aurelis Delgado, Jazz Cow, Joe Ridley, Pablo Meza, D Rock, Matt Clevenger, Seth Tucker, CC3PO, Scott Smith, Don Maton, Stephen Purchase, Sean Yahtzee, Scott Bradley, Stephen Rhea Stanley, Eddie Manzanares, Louis Bennett, Chip Perrin, Jimmy Hernandez, Gigi the Judgmental, and Brenton Palmer. Thank you all for your continued support and keeping the lights on in the network. If you want to join, we've got the hot seat, which is $5 a month. Gets you digital benefits, digital copies of the stickers, access to Ox After Dark replay, Patreon chat, and obviously a weekly shout out on the show. $750 a month gets you the Sweet Angel, which gets you a physical sticker sent straight to your door, as well as the benefits of the previous tier. Certified Crispy gets you a Certified Crispy certificate on first pledge. Citizens for Figure Fixed by Zach, and all the other benefits. And the Water Guy gets you, this is the top tier, gets you the exclusive POG Deluxe set on first pledge and doubles all the stickers, so you can send them to your friends and family. September, October benefits was the 3,000 subscribers sticker and the CW Halloween sticker. So I think Zach said they were going out this week, so you can still got time to get in on those if you want those. And obviously we'll have some new stickers coming up, including probably a Christmas, like a holiday one. And we do that for December. So yeah, that's cool. You can also support us by becoming a YouTube channel member. We've got Absolute Irwin, Alvin J, Andrew Gibo, Benjamin Hanson, Big Old Firm, Bob Dylan, CC3PO, Chris V, CT603, DJ, Daminator, Doc Smizzle, Equan, Fat Batman, Gare Bear, Good Old Spotchka, Gotham Cenobites, Justin Sports Card, LV Avenger 702, Mark Pearson, Mike Litoris, Money Mendez, OG Fan, OMFG Rick, 16 Figure Focus, Shane, Paul Schreiber, Philip the Fool, S-Beam, Sam Giss, Scarnlord, SpongeBob SquareBalls, I think I've heard of him before.
Yeah, where's that name gone from?
Yeah. Sunnyvale Russ, The Ben Thomas Show, and Toy Mafia. If you are already a Patreon, you can become a YouTube channel member for 99 cents a month. Gets you loyalty badges, emojis, and member shoutouts on the show. Or if you're not and you just want to be a YouTube channel member, you can join the Peanut Gallery for $2.99 a month. Gets you all the same perks and member shoutouts on the show. We also have TeePublic. If you want some swag, T-shirts, mouse mats, mugs, what have you. Loads of different designs on there. We don't make much money out of it, but it's cool to think of people buying our swag and wearing our logos and things and drinking their tea off of our faces. Yeah, no, have a look on there if you need some new T-shirts. There's some cool stuff on there. And yeah, I shall leave you in the hands of Ian to take you through the whole network.
Yes. So this is us. This is kind of the Rogues Gallery. So we've got Collecting Weekly live unboxing, which every week they unbox anything they've bought. Some of them have masses of self-control and will get something and sit on it for at least a week before they unbox it.
Yeah,
crazy. I've never unboxed anything on camera before because I can't be arsed. I'd rather just it turn up and I open it.
Yeah, it's a lot of effort.
If you went back 10 years and went, what we're going to be doing in the future is people are going to be ordering stuff and someone's going to record them opening it and people are going to watch it. I would tell them just to go fuck themselves. But this is the world we're in.
Unboxing is the big thing, mate. Anything.
Ups, down, downs, up. No one knows what the fuck's going on. So, yeah, fine. Yeah. We've got question of the week. I don't know what this question of this week might have been, but I'm sure it was gripping.
The question of this week is, what was the question of the week last week?
Exactly. Yeah. It's a short show.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a very short show. We got Ox PD, which is the boys going on a Grand Theft Auto mod dressed as police. Lots of police brutality, lots of things that would keep you up at night if it happened in real life. But we do it for fun on Grand Theft Auto. So
absolutely.
What else have we got? We've got OFAC, the jewel in the crown, the reason we get up every morning. Really just. If I'm honest, the other shows need to up their game a bit because it just, who the fuck do they think they are? Constantly being on time. Fuck you. Ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly.
We
don't care.
You turn up late and you don't, and there's no apology for it. That's just how we roll. Right? Fuck the lot of them.
You got it like that.
Absolutely.
Exactly. And then you got Collecting Weekly live, which is oddly enough weekly. The Mothership, and then we got Small Talk, the itty bitty things. And I know I say it a lot, but fucking, I would hate to be those people. Every fucking week, there's like thousands of stuff, and I'm like,
there's a lot of editing required there. I think to decide what actually makes the show and what doesn't, because
I barely keep up with like the 20 odd, if we're lucky, releases and pre-orders of 6 scale. True champions of the network. Absolutely. Those guys.
Yeah, great.
Then you got After Dark, the seedier side of collecting. That's your butt plugs, your dildos, all that kind of stuff.
No, or as what is it that I called it? Nightlight or
Oh fuck!
See, now I can't remember.
Sleepover.
No, I
Sleepover, yeah, okay.
That's it, yeah.
Something like
The
that,
ar-
anyway. Yeah.
The after dark sleepover, something, you know. Show me on the
Overnight, I
door
think
where
you
you were
call
touched.
Overnight. Something like that.
Overnight, yeah.
Overnight, yeah.
Overnight. Yeah. Then we got Live and Let Dice, which I have watched a few of those, and Christ, they go on, but it's good.
Yeah.
I could listen to Cody's sweet, sweet voice all day long. And then Bricks and Brews, which is them getting pissed up and sticking as much Lego up their bum as they can. So yeah,
That's why there's such a long break between them, because they need a lot of surgery and palliative care afterwards for all that.
Yeah, you wait until they move on to Lego Technic. That's going to be a completely that's going to be stitches.
Building
That
up
is
to
going to be
Duplo.
horrendous. Oh, fuck that for a laugh. Sideways, Duplo
Yeah,
sideways.
yeah.
Fuck that. But anyway, that's the network. That is everything. Thank you, everyone. It's been a laugh.
Yeah.
It has been a laugh. Or a giraffe. That's another one for you, Thomas. That's another
laugh for a
classy
giraffe.
British.
Oh god, I'm not sure about that one.
Instead of saying I've had a laugh for giraffe, there you go.
I've had a laugh for a giraffe.
Yeah. But anyway, that is us.
Yeah.
That is we are done. And
Thanks for
I'm
watching.
going to go to bed now.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Night all.
Anytime, mate. Absolute pleasure.
Yeah.
Catch you guys all later. Bye.
Bye.
Bye now.